everyone. This is Ricky Baez from Baezco Learning and co-host of the HR Talk podcast. I wanted to do this quick video, because in the Central Florida area, an incident happened a couple of days ago that is becoming way too common in America today, and it's happening so often, whether it's in workplace, whether it's in schools or in an open mall. It's happening so often that we're becoming desensitized to it. And I think it's important to kind of take a step back and do a quick video and just address the issue and what you as a business leader and as an HR professional can do to help mitigate these things in your workplace. So what ended up happening here in Orlando on Monday, February 10th, there was an employee who was fired that day from his job. He was working in the Under Armour store at the Premium Outlets Mall here in Orlando. For those of you who don't know, the Premium Outlets Mall is a really popular tourist shopping area here in Orlando. So around 8 p.m. on Monday night, this employee went back into the store after he was fired a couple of hours earlier, shot and killed one of his former colleagues. As the news reports continue on, it's from WFTV.com and Fox 35 News. As this story continued, we come to find out that the reason he did that is because there were several employees who filed a complaint against him in HR, and he was essentially fired because of it. Went back, got a gun, came back to work, shot one of the employees who complained against him, and had a list of other employees who were doing the same. Now, obviously, the police department are still looking for this guy because he's still out there, and the police department is talking to all the other people that was on that list. And guys, this is becoming way too common, and it's important for us to take a step back and really take a look at your processes, your procedures, what kind of training you have at work, because this can happen to any one of us. Any one of us, it can happen. According to OSHA, there's an estimate of about 2 million workplace violence issues across America in any given year. Think about that number for a second. That's a lot. Now, not all of those incidences are homicides or death. It could be a verbal dispute. It could be a physical altercation. But nonetheless, it still is a workplace violence issue that should not be happening at all. And it's what JC and I talk on the HR Talk podcast is we want to create an environment where employees are free from harassment, free from any kind of issues that prevents them from making a living. I mean, that's our main goal. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to give everybody 3 quick hits on what you as an HR leader or a business leader can do to prevent this from happening at the office or your place of work. But here's the thing though, you can't prevent workplace violence 100%, but damn it, you can do the very best you can to make sure that that risk is a lot lower. So here are the 3 tips. The first one is pretty easy, but we tend to forget, and is be courteous. Just be a courteous human being. Especially in human resources, we tend to be looked at as the negative part of the job, those policy thumpers that's always looking to get somebody in trouble. It's that we may have earned that title 30, 40 years ago, but I think as years go on and we progress in society, we're becoming a little bit better at that. Not every HR professional is that way, but there's a reason why that stigma is out there. And that's one of the things that I want Baezco Learning to do, is to get rid of that stigma. But as far as being at work is concerned, you have to be courteous, regardless if you have to write somebody up, regardless if you have to coach somebody, or even eventually separate somebody from employment, regardless of what that person did. You have to do it in such a way that comes across respectful, and you treat the person as a human being. And I've had lots of clients who say, look, but Ricky, it's all business, it's not personal. Yeah, to you as the person doing the separating, it's all business. But to the person who just lost their job and maybe this is the last straw, It's very personal. So that statement holds no weight in this conversation at all if you're holding somebody accountable for whatever they did. But you have to be courteous. You have to be able to keep that human aspect of your title, which is human resources. So be courteous. That's the first one. The second one is look for warning signs. You have to be aware of what your employees are doing. I'm not saying spying on them, but if you had a rock star employee or just a regular average employee, and all of a sudden their behavior changes, they start abusing drugs, start abusing alcohol, there's a lot of unexplained absenteeisms, and I'm not talking about the regular flu and they call out. I mean like out of the norm absenteeism. And if they start talking about suicidal thoughts, a lot of talks that make people feel reasonably uncomfortable, you have to be able to look out for those warning signs. But the big question is, what do you do with that? Well, it depends. If somebody brings that to your attention, hey, Bobby over there is talking about guns a lot more than what I'm comfortable with, then I'm not saying go over there and just, coach Bobby. Go talk to Bobby. Have a conversation with Bobby. I'm not saying go ahead and write him up, but just find out what's going on with him and approach the conversation from a friendly, hey, I'm just checking up on you type of situation, instead of a, hey, I'm HR, I'm the manager, I want to go ahead and find out what you're talking about. It really depends on the approach. And I'm not saying do it how I do it. It's everybody has their own personal preference on how they communicate with people. But you just got to find that perfect balance for you to go ahead and have that conversation. But look out for those warning signs. The third one is have an action plan. You need to ensure you provide your managers, your employees, everybody in your office with adequate training on how to spot those warning signs and adequate training on what to do in case something happens in the office. This is something we do at Biesco Learning. We do provide a lot of on-the-spot custom training that's tailored to your company and to your needs. So again, the first one is be courteous. Second one is watch for warning signs. And the third one is have an action plan and provide adequate training. Hopefully that helped. And this is a sad situation here in Central Florida. I don't think it's made it to the mainstream media because it does happen quite often. And it's just crucial for you to take a step back, talk to your employees, and make sure that they know what to look for and what to do in case something happens. Hope that helps. Have a good Wednesday.